The planet we reside in is millions of years old and has witnessed the formation and destruction of thousands of settlements. The people living in these settlements died, but what they left behind are precious treasures. Some of these treasures are discovered thousands of years later, while some of them still are buried in the ground. Today we bring you the 10 most valuable found treasures in the world that now are worth millions of dollars. But before we begin with our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel to enjoy more valuable content. Number 10. Forest Fen Treasure. Around a decade ago, Fen hid his treasure chest filled with gold and other prized possessions estimated to be valued at least millions of dollars, someplace in the Rocky Mountains. A little while later, he printed a memoir called The Thrill of the Chase, which consisted of a mystifying 24-line poem that, if decoded, would lead treasure hunters to the treasure. Fen had proposed that the loot was kept concealed at the place where he had visualized laying down to die. Back when he'd believed in 1998, cancer diagnosis was lethal. Since the quest began in 2010, many thousands of hunters had gone out chasing the treasure. At least 5 of them lost their lives in the quest, and the hunt became a global story. In June 2020, Fen declared that the treasure had been discovered by a man from back east, but he wants to stay anonymous. 9. Curedale Hoard. On May 15, 1840, a bunch of workers were mending the embankment of the River Ribble in Curedale, which is near Preston, England. They discovered a lead box that accommodated one of the largest Viking reserves ever found. The treasure contained over 8,600 items, which even includes silver coins, ornaments, and pure silver ingots. While most of the items were created in East England Viking settlements, some of them were also from Scandinavia, Italy, and Byzantium. The coins were probably buried between 903 AD and 910 AD, right after the Vikings had been exiled from Dublin. Astonishingly, Preston's legend was that anyone who stood on the south bank of the River Ribble and looked upriver would be within sight of the abundant treasure in England. Number 8. Hoxton Hoard. On November 16, 1992, farmer Peter Watling had lost a hammer in farmland just south of the townlet of Hoxton in Suffolk, England. The tenant asked one of his friends, Eric Laws, to use his metal detector so he could find his hammer. Sadly, Peter didn't find his hammer, but what he found instead would make your jaw drop. He discovered silver spoons, gold ornaments, and gold and silver coins. After alerting officials, a group of archaeologists was sent off to the site, and they scooped it out within a day. What they found was the largest collection of late Roman gold and silver ever uncovered in Britain. The Hoxton Hoard is the most gigantic hoard of the 4th and 5th century coins discovered anywhere in the Roman Empire. Number 7. Staffordshire Hoard. On July 5, 2009, Terry Herbert, a dilettante treasure hunter, was searching a freshly plowed farm field near Hammerswich, Staffordshire, England, when his metal detector started detecting something. When the ascent of the landowner, Fred Johnson, kept digging the ground for almost 5 days, he kept digging until finally he discovered one of the most valuable treasures of all time. He pulled out about 3,500 objects from the ground. These objects were a part of what came to be called the Staffordshire Hoard. It is consisted solely of military items with no vessels or eating utensils or ornaments. These military items were made up of 11 pounds of gold and 3 pounds of silver and semi-precious garnets. The garnets were highly valuable. They were from as far as Sri Lanka or Afghanistan. Number 6. Stroda Treasure. On June 8, 1885, laborers were tearing down an old building in the Polish settlement of Sroda Slaska when they discovered a vase. It was an extraordinary vase. It was filled with over 3,000 silver coins dating to the 14th century. When demolition work shifted to a nearby building, more silver coins and gold florin coins were discovered. Enterprising workers started digging the municipal junk pile. That's when things took a mind-boggling turn. Objects discovered included a woman's gold crown, which was probably owned by the wife of Emperor Charles IV. Additionally, there were 2 12th century gold pendants, 2 13th century gold pendants, a medieval gold chip studded with precious stones, and a sapphire ring. It has been confirmed that the treasure belonged to Emperor Charles IV, who likely pledged it to raise funds to favor his claim to the King of the Romans. Number 5. Antikythera Shipwreck. The Antikythera shipwreck is a Roman-era shipwreck that occurred during the second quarter of the 1st century BC. It was uncovered by sponge divers off Point Glyphidia on the Greek islet of Antikythera in 1900. The ship accommodated several statues, coins, and other antiquities dating back to the 4th century BC, as well as the badly corroded debris of a device mainly regarded as the world's most ancient known analog computer, the Antikythera mechanism. These ancient objects, works of art, and parts of the ship are now placed at the National Archaeological Museum of Athens. Before we move further, just a quick reminder to hit the bell icon to turn on notification for our channel. Number 4. Nuestra Señora de la Mercedes. Nuestra Señora de la Mercedes was a Spanish Navy warship that was submerged by the British off the coast of Portugal on 5th October 1804 during the War of Cape Santa Maria. In 2007, the firm Odyssey Marine Exploration announced having found at a concealed location at a very wealthy shipwreck codenamed Black Swan. Odyssey discovered almost 500,000 silver and gold coins from the ship and carried them to the United States. Spanish researchers instantly recognized the ship found by Odyssey with Mercedes, and the Spanish government started a lawsuit to halt what they believed was an act of illegal looting. Number 3. Tiliotep. Discovered against the tempestuous backdrop of the Cold War, the Tiliotep hoard is a glittering collection that includes thousands of gold pieces from across the ancient world. Tiliotep means Golden Hill. It is situated in Bactria, a prehistoric region that is now part of Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan. It is though the treasure was embedded by the Scythian or Chinese nomads towards the beginning of the Christian era. The laborers at the site discovered 6 tombs belonging to the 1st century BC to the 1st century AD. They consisted of more than 20,000 items, including golden rings, coins, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, ammunitions, diadems, and so much more. Additionally, many of these were crafted from valuable gems such as turquoise, carnelian, and lapis lazuli. Number 2. Panegyrish Treasure. On December 8, 1949, brothers Pavel Petko and Mikhail Dykov looking for clay near a tile industry nearing Panegyrish, Bulgaria, when one of them found what seemed a whistle and various other objects. The brother then took these objects to the mayor. What seemed a whistle was actually a golden ceremonial drink horn from the 4th century BC. There were other golden decanters, golden dishes, and golden urns. Altogether, 13 pounds of 24-karat gold was uncovered. These items belong to the 4th and 3rd century BC and are thought to be owned by the Thracian king Seuthis III. The objects might have been buried to hide them from annexation by the Celts or the Macedonians. Number 1. Caesarea Sunken Treasure. In February 2015, a destructive storm hit Israel's Mediterranean coastline. The next morning, Zvika Fayer was scuba diving off the prehistoric port town of Caesarea when he saw something he couldn't believe. The seafloor was filled with gold coins having Arabic script towards both sides. The coins were dinars formed during the reigns of the Caliphs Al-Hakim and his son Al-Zahir. During that period, Caesarea was a part of the Islamic Fatimid Empire, and the duration was just before the First Crusade in 1095 AD. Caesarea has a lengthy and complicated past. It developed in 400 BC as a Phoenician and Greek trading post. Around 96 BC, it was governed by Queen Cleopatra after the region was conquered by Rome. It was under the rule of Herod the Great, and by 680, it was a capital of the Roman territory of Judea and home to Pontius Pilate. The treasure consisted over 2,000 coins altogether, and they're all 24 karat, having a purity of 95%. That's all for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, do hit the like button and do subscribe to our channel by clicking on the bell icon to get notified every time we drop new videos.